Okay, so we discussed about arrays in the previous chapter, looked at what arrays are all about, and let us now in this chapter do some hands-on and look at some hands-on exercises. So we'll discuss about how an array can be defined, and we'll write a Java program, also pass parameter to a Java program. It will be an interesting exercise as well. So please go ahead and complete this particular hands-on. Let us understand how arrays work, how you can initialize arrays and work with arrays in the current hands-on. So for this, I have some programs lined up. So let's go and open the program here. So arrays demo.java. In this program, again, as usual, I have just created a simple one-dimensional array, and then we basically print all these four numbers. And in this example, I also see I have used varargs. You can see this. Varargs is nothing but variable arguments. So it can basically have number of arguments. So we have used this printf statement, and it can have number of arguments. So it is not limited. So you can have another 5th, 6th, 7th, any number of arguments, and it works in this particular signature because this is the last parameter. So this is an example. So here we are printing all the elements of this array, and then in this first example we have initialized right away, and in the second example what we have done, we are not initialized right away, we have just declared the array which will hold 4 elements, and then we are assigning each element. So this is another way where we can basically use arrays, and accessing is pretty straightforward. You can basically access them using the same zero-based index as we have discussed in the theory chapter. Similarly, the two-dimensional array can also be initialized or n dimension depending on your requirement. You can just go ahead and keep on creating your own structures depending on your requirement. So with this, we come to this particular sample, and let us compile and run this. Okay, so okay, so our demo is done. So Java all right, so now here you see the 4 numbers and the 4 directions and the contents of row 1, row 2 in a two-dimensional array. So this completes the arrays demo. Now let us also understand how we can use certain parameters and pass that to a program as well. So in the previous hands-on, we saw using scanner. All right, so in the scanner, where you can anticipate the user to enter some data when the program is getting executed. What if I want to pass some parameters to a program when you have not yet started the program and you just pass it and allow the program to run? So this is another important thing and useful for passing certain parameters or certain configuration information as well. So in the later chapters, later courses, we will discuss about these configuration parameters, etc. to a program. But this is also another mechanism where I will look at another class here. So we will just go ahead and look at this particular class, which is greeting.java. It's a very simple class. So where it has the same main method, but one thing here, what it has taken is it is taking the parameter name from the argument. So it is like a command line argument. So you say, where, for example, mkdir is make directory, and then you give the name of the directory. So the name of the directory is nothing but a command line option, right? Similarly, if I want to give an option, a command option to my program, we could also do that via the command line, and this can be taken into the program, or we can read that information in Java program. So all the parameters comes as a string array. So you would have seen this signature already, but now in the arrays chapter we have explored what is an array. So it automatically captures everything as an array of strings separated by space, of course, and then it takes you and gives you this information to the programmer. So inside the program I can access that information. So let us see how we can use this. So you take this first argument. So for this program I want to run this giving an argument or giving a parameter. So this is very much important. And then we'll say hi and give the name of that particular content. So let us run this program. Before that, let us compile it. Okay. Next, Java. We'll see. Just running this will give an exception or an error. So what is an exception? How do you handle this error, etc.? We'll talk about this in the later chapters. But here for now, so if you just for your information, I'm just entering just like this, you will get an array index out of bound exception, which means I'm expecting a content in this array of parameters. Say for example, if you look at our program, you could see this thing. So let us go back. So this is the program. I'm directly taking this array and expecting this data, but I have not been getting this information. So this is not passed. So you will get an error saying that there is no data in this particular index. So you get this exception. So what is error? What is exception? How do you handle these exceptions? We will discuss and look into these things in the later chapters. Okay. So for now, don't worry about it. So please ensure you pass a parameter along with this particular program. So you say when you are running this program, okay, pass parameter, say John. Okay. So now when you hit enter, you would see hi John, where the data entered by the user, which is you or me in this case, it has taken this data as a command line parameter and it comes to the string array. So it has come to this string array and the first parameter is John, and I have taken and I am just printing this particular content. So this is another way how we can go ahead and pass parameters to a program. So remember, we have passed this parameter, which is more of a static parameter we have passed before the program executed. Scanner is not like that. So scanner is something where the program is prompting the user to enter the data. So there is a difference between this and the way we use scanner. So scanner is about anticipating or reading the data directly from the terminal when the program is running. Here we are just passing a parameter to the program. So that's a simple example. Okay. All right. So with this, we come to the end of this hands-on where we just looked at how to create arrays and access the contents of the array after initialization. With this, we come to the end of this section and I see you in the next section. Before going to the next section, please ensure you complete the hands-on exercise and go to the next section. Thank you.